So we're going to start with just looking, we did a report on 2018 on the venture space, and last year, to put it into context, was a record year for number of investments and the amount of investment that was taking place. So that's kind of the backdrop of where we are, and we've seen this hockey stick acceleration that's taking place. Walid, to start with you, the UAE saw the majority of the funding in 2018 by number of deals and the total amount of investment. But we're beginning to see these tectonic shifts in the ecosystem. Number one, what is it that makes UAE currently the most dominant ecosystem? And do you think that will remain the same in the coming years to come?
Sure, thank you. I love the tectonic shift analogy. I'm going to use it because it really says about what we're trying to build. And the UAE is a great example of what a venture capital startup ecosystem looks like and its ingredients. So that is basically, first of all, a welcoming place. Second, people, talent, coming from all over the world, feeling that they have the tools, the infrastructure to work, produce. And finally is the access to markets. So what Dubai in particular was able to achieve because of its investment in infrastructure and people and access is frankly impressive, and this is why we see that most of the activity in venture capital and technology startup comes here. Now, other countries and other cities and geographies are obviously following the trend, and the trend attracts capital. And once you signal capital in a geography, you'll be amazed how much local talent, hidden talent there is. So when you look at Saudi Arabia today or Egypt, the mere fact of telling entrepreneurs that there is a venture capital industry that's willing to back you, you will actually start seeing and receiving the talent and organizing it around what we call an ecosystem. So there's always a cycle that's always the same, and those the good ecosystems end up reinforcing each other, sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy. So good talent makes good stories, that brings even more talent, that brings more capital, etc. So it's a virtuous cycle. Definitely now we're going to see Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, Egypt getting into this game.
Abdulaziz, last year we saw $48 million of disclosed funding in Saudi. I'm not going to come on to the transparency of data and the access of data in Saudi, which is a challenge. But there is a lot of initiatives that are taking place in Saudi to drive the ecosystem. How long until you see the capital come in, the growth of the ecosystem, more success stories coming out of Saudi Arabia?
Well, I'd like to start by saying that Saudi is more open to the outside world today than it has ever been before, I think. And that's bound to have its effect eventually on developing more or nurturing more innovation in-house. I think government programs and support schemes that are in place, led by people like the SME Authority and the PIF, are one of the most generous programs that I know any government does. So these are new programs and are bound to have create their impact, and they will. I think change is around the corner. We just need to give it just a little time to see that change starting to happen. The government has been really fast in developing these support programs. I think we now need time to catch up with the government. That's also an unprecedented, I think, development. I haven't heard of any other government entity that has such generous programs happening so quickly. Saudi is bound to regain its fair share of VC activity. So far, it hasn't had its fair share. I think that only needs time and not a long time. I think in a year or two, you will see a lot of developments, a lot of new players coming in. And we're really excited about seeing these changes happening as we speak.
Mohammed, we're seeing governments across the whole of the region clearly focusing on entrepreneurship, and there are new initiatives to try and drive each of the countries' ecosystems. But in your particular case, as a result of your exit, which is, as was mentioned earlier, one of the keys to the success of the ecosystem, you've created this kind of food tech hub that has been an example for the rest of the region. Number one, just out of interest, what are the characteristics that kind of form that? But number two, do you think that some of the governments across the region are missing a trick to try and specialize than try and do everything in the first instance?
If you just look at where we were a few years ago compared to where we are now in the region, we've significantly improved. The governments are trying to, with more younger people coming in, holding key governmental positions in the region, we're seeing a faster shift towards, in the right direction. So, in my opinion, it's just a matter of time. Sometimes some governments overcomplicate matters due to the structures they've had in place for the last 30, 40 years, which are inefficient, which leads to a slow progress. However, we're seeing a change. People in the government are realizing it's not working, and it's about maybe privatizing a few aspects of the country to make it more efficient. Let's copy the best examples out there and try to follow. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. So we're seeing this happen, and I inshallah believe in the next, like my colleague said, in the next 2 years, big changes will happen inshallah from Saudi Arabia, from Kuwait, Bahrain, and the rest of the GCC inshallah.
But on the point of specializing as opposed to trying to do everything, in your particular case, the food example, is there something that other governments can look at to say, well, there's a lot of solar power here, we should focus on renewable energy, or a service-based economy, we should focus on promoting that, or should they look to try and achieve everything?
I think what they should do is make it easier for people to set up. I mean, one of the big issues we have in this part of the world now is pretty expensive for me. If I have a company in Kuwait who would like to expand to the rest of the GCC, you have to set up a legal entity in every country, blah, 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 to set up. So having one unified kind of market, this will make it much easier for everybody to scale up. So I think this is something, there's a lot of people talking about this. They've been talking about it for years. I think it's, inshallah it will happen moving forward. Definitely there has to be focus on other aspects. But I think it's empowering young people, let young people decide what they need to do, let them push forward. Let the government move its hand a little bit from this sort of things. If you get the government hand in too many things, usually it ends up taking a longer time. Emirates is a different example here. The country is run super efficiently, but others are not the Emirates. So I think we have to kind of maybe let go of way, let the young people take charge of things.
Areije, Bahrain is doing significant strides to drive the ecosystem. You have next week on Bound, there are many events that are taking place. But I'm going to read a tweet that came out recently where one entrepreneur said people working in startup support organizations in Bahrain probably exceed the number of people working in startups. The ecosystem business is thriving more than the ecosystem itself. Something's wrong with that equation. What's your reply to that?
Well, I think there's maybe some truth to that in the sense that there's a lot of programs that are happening, some grants that are coming out from our labor fund. We could say maybe a lot of noise around the whole startup ecosystem, but honestly, there needs to be a spark. So there needs to be something that people can fall back on. And so, there's nothing wrong with having a lot of support. And I think that's ultimately what I think Walid was saying earlier, that once they see the support, then all the hidden talents will come from under the ground. And I think ultimately that's what's happening. We're a small market, so then, obviously sometimes it might seem like we have a lot going on because it's small, but now we're having startups that are coming from all over that are exploring Bahrain to actually become a home for their technology startups, basing their operations out of there. Even, we're attracting talents to actually explore the whole area. And I think it's a sort of catch-22, what comes first and what do we need to do. But I think that, give it a year and then it'll sort of balance out like anything else.
And interestingly, I believe as an entrepreneur who's been doing this for a year, the competition is extremely healthy. But what's interesting when I've been traveling to Jordan and Lebanon and different countries is that to a certain extent there's a lack of articulation of what the actual offering is for each geography. Do you think that is the case, and that sometimes, for instance, Bahrain's case, why should a startup come to Bahrain, or why should they set up elsewhere?
I mean, look, I think ultimately entrepreneurs are very intelligent, and they'll go where they feel that the opportunity is there and where it makes sense for them. I think our job from sort of a government perspective is just to make it easy and efficient. One entrepreneur that recently visited Bahrain, and we had a series of meetings that we made up for him, and he was like, wow, I was able to see the central bank, I was able to see the labor fund, I was able to see the economic development board, I was able to see the development bank, all in a span of one day. And I didn't have to spend so much money on travel and accommodation, and I could just come in and out. And I think sometimes making it efficient and making it easy will be able to tell the story. So yes, you're right, maybe why should people come to Bahrain? It's small, why don't they go to any other country? But I like to think of it as we talk about consumer experience, and that's what's disrupting everything. And I think also when it comes to attracting talent and technology, it's about the experience of the entrepreneur. So if a country makes it seamless and easy, and you were talking about, the ease of doing business, then it'll be sort of second nature. But for them to actually see what happens, we need to do a little bit of the promotion and attract people to come over and speak a lot about the programs, host lots of events, and then organically it will happen. I've been with the bank for about 9 years, so when I first started, entrepreneurship was that trend word that came up. People were talking about it in schools and high school, but now it's it's a household name. My mom now says, "Oh, hi, this guy's an entrepreneur." Before she'd be like, "This guy's crazy. He left his job." So there's a whole mind shift that has happened, and we're seeing it live. And I think it's just things that need to happen. And I think in our region, and this happened in the West, nobody talks about it, but the government spent a lot of money supporting these entrepreneurs, and that's what created the Silicon Valleys of the US. And now it's our turn, and we're lucky because we can sort of fast forward, learn best practices that have happened in other ecosystems, and localize it for what we've done. So I think that we're on the right route.
So let's move on to funding. Walid, I had the pleasure of doing a panel with you 2 years ago, and I quote what you said, which is that in the region there is an imbalance or a mismatch between the demand and supply for capital. 2 years on, is that still the case? And the second part of that is a common criticism: is there enough deal flow to justify increased capital?
Sure. So the short answer, yes, this is still the case, although we're doing much better today compared to 2 years ago, and there's definitely no doubt about the maturity of the industry. But I wanna just advise you to do a top-down calculation. So let's take the economy of the GCC, which is roughly more than $1 trillion economy, heavily dependent on oil and services. I think Saudi Arabia's probably second to oil sector must be transportation and logistics. So when you look at these traditional industries, and you want to say, within 10, 15, 20 years, I want 5% of this economy to be knowledge-based or enabled by the digital economy. Quickly, you're talking about a massive yearly contribution to the GDP coming from this economy. And in order to get to that number, you need massive investments. Today, the whole VC fundraising is roughly $700-800 million yearly. So the imbalance is right there, with $700 million today available that will be invested over the past 3 to 4 years. There is no way on earth we're going to get anywhere close to that, to the design. And why 5%? I mean, look at benchmarks all over the world: India, China, North Korea, South Korea, and many, the contribution of the knowledge economy is already at 5, 6, 7, 8% of the economy. So the imbalance is there. On the deal flow side, I go back to what I was saying before. The importance of signaling capital, venture capital that is structured, that is smart money, will unlock huge talent. We were talking about latent demand in a previous panel. The region is not short of talent, and just take it, the offline to online migration. want to move everything online. We talk about e-commerce and fintech and e-travel and on-demand economy and software as a service, etc. It's going to be built by Arab coders to Arab markets. And we can talk about this for hours. There is no better solution product than having Arab coders coding products for our local markets. So who's going to fuel that? Right? So VC, and the talent is there. We don't have shortage of deal flow at MEVP. We look at 1,000 companies every year. We're actually, we pass on deals sometimes because, honestly, sometimes we're stretched, sometimes we're closing other deals, and there are all the great entrepreneurs out there that we get to see and tell them, look, you'll be ready in 6 months, you'll be ready in 9 months. No, there's absolutely no shortage of deal flow. Absolutely not.
Areije, I'm going to come back to you. So the Al-Waha Fund was created, and it was a government approach to not invest directly, which doesn't seem to be the case in many of the geographies. And you announced, I believe yesterday, that 48 million of that has now been allocated to VCs. Do you think that is the example that should be set for all other governments to try and spur entrepreneurship as an investment, as opposed to doing direct investments themselves?
Yeah, sorry. So it's 45 million. And yeah, I mean, I think, our peers are also doing it. We just sort of happen to have sort of launched and invested in the region, before our peers. But, we're not the experts. And, Mohammed was saying that the government needs to take a step back, but the government still needs to play part. And I think it's what part we play. So it's the creating support programs, making it efficient for startups to set up. And then ultimately, startups need access to capital. So we should invest in startups directly, especially if we're not really ready to do that, or we understand this. But we have a lot of experts that are based in the region. We want to create that whole venture capital, industry, or if you want to call it, but asset class where people are moving from traditional investments and actually leaving into and investing into venture capital. And if the government takes lead and actually believes in the venture capital fund managers that are based out of the region and believes in the region, then I think it's very easy for people from the private sector to follow. And I think sometimes there needs to be one step forward. And, maybe ultimately we'll do, the platform might evolve and might change, but for the beginning, I think it's important for us to, invest in these fund managers, learn from what they do, get exposed to what they do. Just being here, because, we've invested in MEVP and being able to sit here in this conference and hear all, what these, incredible entrepreneurs have done and access this kind of information is invaluable. And I think, people don't talk about that, but I think that's the knowledge transfer that we also get just by being LPs.
Abdulaziz, you've seen in Saudi that entities like PIF put in a huge amount of funds into companies like Uber and SoftBank. Do you think that will begin to change here in the region, where you can see that investing internationally and regionally is not mutually exclusive? And what's the perception been locally from those kind of investors?
I'd like to first clarify that these daring aspirations and daring plans of the PIF are actually meant to fuel and inspire local entrepreneurs to actually think big. Seeing the government think big should help you, hopefully, think big as well. If we are to successfully diversify away from oil, there is no other way than to think big on multiple fronts. On another note, the PIF has actually been instrumental in fueling the VC industry as well. They've earmarked 4 billion riyal to go into PE and VC locally. That's a fund initiative that's only going to be invested through other managers. So PIF is also keen on developing the ecosystem alongside other government entities. So I think these aspirations will trickle down to local entrepreneurs and help them think big. I think there are now local entrepreneurs are seeing eye to eye to founders all over the world, saying if my government invests in Uber, maybe I can one day found a company like Uber. I think it's breaking these barriers and creating a lot more bridges.
If we move on to exits, Mohammed, there's a lot of talk about exits, and clearly exits are important because they give the returns to the investors, the entrepreneurs, and then feedback into the ecosystem. In your particular case, it was heralded as one of the early success stories here in the region. What do you think needs to change in the short term to see more successful exits fuel the ecosystem?
Great question. I think just leaving things the way they are, we're seeing better and better companies being built. Entrepreneurs are getting better from across the region. We were a little bit complacent in this part of the world for many, many years. I think we realized this can no longer be the case, so we're seeing the young people coming through like better than the previous generations. I think the first thing we have to do is we have to support our people in this sector. This is something very important. For example, we've invested in 7 companies last year, and we take focus on, even in companies we invested in America, for example, we take focus on promoting and helping our people who are in this sector. So we have to give them support, we have to give them a push. And what I mean by support, not only financial support, also going down and assisting them in areas of issues. When you build a business, there's always plenty of problems you come across on a daily basis. Every day is a problem. There's a small problem, there's a big problem. How can we assist these companies overcome these problems? So, alhamdulillah, we managed to kind of put a team together. People have been there and done that. And in the end, we don't just teach them, we actually learn from them as well. So it's like kind of having that free flow of sharing and communicating. And we see that, inshallah, will lead to, inshallah, more and more success.
There's commonly this perception, Walid, that there are bad exits and good exits. And as an entrepreneur, I think that any exit is a good exit because it means it didn't fail. And the learning lesson means that you have these serial entrepreneurs that can then learn from what has been done previously and then potentially spur on future growth. Do you agree with that concept and the misconception that there are bad exits?
By bad, what do you mean exactly by bad exit?
Some people say that some investors didn't make the return that was expected, it was
Yes.
a fire sale, it was an equity hire, in different kind of circumstances.
Look, I mean, if you happen to be that investor in that bad exit, then probably it didn't work out. So, it's going to sound a little bit off what I'm saying, because I think the exit discussion is a very important one, and especially at an investors conference, and especially when it comes to proving that the asset class works. But the exit discussion cannot be dissociated from the quality of the company that you're building, right? So yes, you may actually not exit at the price that you've wanted, or you may have done, financially not very well. But if you focus on the companies that we built and the capabilities and the people that they bring, right? So that's what is important, because out of those companies, other initiatives will come on, whether it's in more investments, more talent, etc. One of the most lightening moments in my career in venture capital was 5-6 years ago when we did our first exit with Areije. And the entrepreneur walked out with a very handsome check, millions and millions of dollars, and they've been, working hard, not really sometimes believing that they would get there. And once they got there and went on reinvesting and recycling that money into the system, this is where actually I saw it working. So it works. So when you're talking about that positive reinforced loophole works, returns are very important. Now I'm going to say something also that's very important from a returns perspective. There has never been a better time to invest in venture capital across the world except in the Middle East. We have the lowest valuations in the world compared to any market peer, any peer market. What this is, we have one of the most lucrative markets, especially offline to online conversion, where we have the highest spenders, one of the most biggest addressable markets, and the valuations that we enter at today are honestly steep compared to what you can see out there. So I am very confident that the return will materialize, because we're at the beginning of the curve. Now, what is our job? Our job is to do the proper investment, the proper mentoring, the proper support, the smart money element, and also the work on the exit. So I am very confident that there are, and numbers show it. You at MAGNiTT cover these numbers, right? We're seeing more exits, bigger exits, both in numbers and dollar value, and it's happening. It's happening. So there is absolutely no doubt about that. We had a panel on e-commerce, and e-commerce penetration is a fraction to where it should be. It will get there. So,
and interestingly on that point, so we did the report at the end of the year and we interviewed some of the different investors. So 157 investors and institutions had made investments in the region, 30% of which came from outside of the region. And one of the people we interviewed was from Gobi Partners, the general partner there, and his quote, and he was happy for us to share it, he said, "It would seem ridiculous not to invest in the region given the valuations that are available. Given the learning lessons that you have from Asia that you can apply here, it's a steal to come invest here in the region."
of course, I mean, we can spend hours comparing multiples and comparing economics, unit economics. We have one of the highest unit economics in the world when it comes to at least the companies that we see, and we're going to discuss some of those examples in the later panel, compared to, say, India or even China. Obviously, we have a smaller population, but the higher GDP, higher spending, connected people, we want services, and that offline to online thesis is working today. That's why we are very excited about the opportunity today. And if we capture it, and we are capturing it, imagine 5 to 7 years when we start exiting out of this fund. So it's a fantastic time and space to be in. It's almost, I mean, the stars are aligned, so very, very excited about the future.
And just a couple of minutes left, but let's talk about competition. Abdulaziz, when you go to Saudi, you mentioned that it's more open than it ever has been before. But not just specifically Saudi, we speak to other governments, and one of the biggest concerns they have, and was mentioned on the e-commerce panel, was protectionism. You want to protect your local entities from either being gobbled up or put out of business. Do you share that view as being unhealthy, or do you think that let the capital and the markets forces work for themselves, and then you have this survival of the fittest mentality?
I think local presence and companies that are nurturing local talent ought to be recognized and rewarded somehow. Now, giving the consumer more choices is good, but I just hope the international players that are coming are not just using the cheap funding sources to solve their problems. That doesn't help anyone. That doesn't help the consumers. It doesn't help local businesses. So I don't have the full answer. I just have these beliefs, which I hope the regulators keep in mind when shaping the regulations going forward. Local talent, local presence. I think we need to ask all the international players to nurture and develop and build locally. We can't just allow them in without any conditions.
I think we've seen some of the examples of that take place. And let's talk, I was speaking more regionally, but actually when you look internationally, we're beginning to see more and more competition come in. I personally think that's excellent because it's showing interest from international players and focus here in the region. I guess I'll speak about Abdulaziz. I mean, you exited to international people who are in a very competitive space. One question for all founders here: when is it appropriate to start speaking to international competitors? And what is that competition? What is that conversation?
It's a great question. We started to speak with them 2 months after we acquired the business in 2010. They approached us. They heard it's a Kuwaiti family that went and acquired a small online food delivery company in Kuwait, and we were always had a relationship with everybody. We spoke. We were confident about a problem we were trying to solve. Alhamdulillah, we were confident about our abilities to perform it, inshallah. So for me, speaking and communicating is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Competition is a good thing. I have very good relationships with my competitors. We sit and meet and sometimes share numbers because we both believe that we were solving the same problem. We needed to create a market that makes sense. So the better I did, it's better for him, and vice versa. So I think it's the more we see international players come in, it's better for the ecosystem. It's going to make our entrepreneurs better. And this is the way it is. The world is like that. We shouldn't close ourselves in a bubble and say
To do similar things to the copycat model, but really localizing it and creating new products that can compete with international players, and that this obsession of replicating Silicon Valley should be gone with and start focusing on what it is that you can do here locally. We'll hear from Areije later talking about Anghandi, which is a great example, but what is it that entrepreneurs should be thinking about when building their products, not just regionally, but looking to export that internationally, and the threat of this copycat concept?
Look, I've always thought that in the software space and in internet space, everybody copies. I mean, in Silicon Valley, people copy each other constantly, and it's a perfectly normal thing because you can call it copying, you can call it inspiration, whatever you want to call it. It's the same. As humans, we learn from each other. That's a fundamental human ability. So there's absolutely nothing wrong in that. So when it comes to actually addressing our markets here, first of all, not all the Middle East is homogeneous from a market perspective. There's a lot of, there's still friction from market to market. So you can't really even copy from one country to the other, right? When you're selling a product for the GCC region where you have specific spending or specific revenue per user, going to Egypt, you're going to discover a completely different landscape. So I go back to this idea that it has to be local coders solving local problems, and that's key to any success. I wanna go and invite the crowd to look at the Chinese journey in that space. Remember, Groupon, right? So do you know how many Groupon clones were there in China in 2010?
I know the answer to that.
You know that?
Because you just told me the other
It's
day.
becoming my tagline now. 5,000. Copying the website pixel by pixel. And there's only actually out of these 5,000, one that emerged today is a company called Meituan. It's the fourth largest VC-backed company from a valuation perspective in the world. So, and you see in that journey where China went from copying pixel by pixel to becoming probably the most powerful nation in artificial intelligence and machine learning and big data and data mining and all of these awesome technologies, and they have an advantage now, a very clear advantage. Why? Because they copy, they learn, they solve local problems, and they dealt with their local, and now they're going to export that technology to the world. It will happen, it is happening. We have that opportunity. We have that opportunity to follow a similar cycle because we have a big market, an underserved market, homogeneous to a certain extent, and we have talent. We're missing the capital at scale, and that will come. I'm fully confident that will come. And I think our journey at MEVP speaks about that when we started 10 years ago and where we are today. It is hopefully a proxy of what will happen in the future.
Philip, I know that they're looking at you and saying, but I just wanted to add one thing to the competition. And they'll forgive me for this because they made me stand earlier than everybody else. But I just wanted to say that we always worry about competition and protecting, and even I think just, from a regional perspective, we all want to be the country or the region. But I think ultimately we always talk and we preach about this, the execution, right? So what if we have a company that does the same thing that's coming from abroad? If we, and I think somebody mentioned about localization and how, I think it was Rashid al-Abbad earlier on, and that, you have that localization as an added edge. But then I've noticed that our entrepreneurs become a lot better when they see that somebody else is coming in. The minute you start to baby people too much, then the hunger and the drive that actually keeps them going on, it won't be there. There needs to be that fire. And sometimes you need to create it by having that competition. So I think ultimately, what we're doing, from our perspective, the PIF, in Saudi Arabia, a lot of the other programs and our peers is ultimately going to help support this. But I think it's okay to have that competition.
Thank you very much. Well, I think time is up, but I look forward to having the same conversation every year in the next couple of years and seeing how the whole thing changes.
Thank you.
Thank you.